overlook the incredible beauty of Three Creek Lake. Got a ridge over there we'll be at the top of shortly. Epic mountain friends saying hello. And let's continue along. So we're doing Tam McArthur Rim Trail today. One of my 7 favorite hikes in Central and Three Sisters Wilderness, which is my favorite wilderness area in Central Oregon. This is a permit hike. Was lucky to snag one. They release half 7 days ahead of time and the rest 2 days before. But I was able to get one. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022. This entire hike is in the Alpine zone. Started about 6,500 feet. Kind of interesting, Three Creek Lake, Driftwood Campground parking lot's where I parked. It's actually one of the 2 highest campgrounds in the entire state of Oregon as far as elevation, along with Plana Lake and Newberry. So you start 6,500, you start in the Alpine zone. We're hiking to about 8,300 feet to Broken Hand. It's like a formation near the peak of Broken Top Summit, which is 9,100 feet. I may or may not go past Broken Hand to Bend Glacier, No Name Lake. If I do that, then it adds some elevation on the return, so it takes it from 1,800 feet to about 2,200 feet. Somewhere between 9.3 to 11 miles. Definitely an uphill slog. From the moment you start it, it's an incline. But it's such an alpine wonderland. Very well worth it. We'll have several money overlook spots. Probably my favorite section of the whole trail is the Red Clay Mountain Zone. Oh, I love that. Basically, you get up over 8,000 feet, which is about the same elevation as the Alpine summit zone of the Swiss Alps in Europe. And get up there and it's just red clay and mountain views for like a mile. It's absolutely spectacular. Three Creek Lake. I view this trail as so epic and high quality that just the trail itself is gorgeous. Is there some sunshine? This trail is beautiful. This is truly one of those hikes where every step, every section is magic. You're in a special spot. And the moment you get on the trail, the moment you get off the trail, currently in a rocky ascending section. I do like to take the time to come over to these side view areas. Come over here and look at that. A little bit of a morning sunrise glow. Three Creek Lake, cornucopia of mountains in the background. We're going over to be on the top of that ridge as a lookout point. Pretty epic. Pretty darn epic. We're just getting started too. The best is yet to come, my friends. So get back on our trail. Definitely got to be sure-footed. Find yourself navigating a lot of odd-shaped rocks and tree root systems. And now we are getting out of that initial Three Creek Lake Overlook section, going farther into the forest proper. Oh, look how beautiful this is. The forest is Deschutes National Forest. The wilderness area is Three Sisters Wilderness, my favorite in the great state of Oregon. You gotta thank God by now I am an aficionado of Three Sisters Wilderness. These 7 or so trails I truly think are the best representation of hiking in Central Oregon. Truly epic. I'm going at a pretty fast clip, and it's all straight up. It's our first flat section in a while. It's early morning, just after sunrise, about 6, a little after 6. Some beautiful purple flowers. I want to say lupine. I don't know if that's right. We are still getting peaks of Sisters, Three Creek Lake, off to our right. Now we're about to enter the wilderness zone proper. Start climbing through the heart of this gorgeous area. And I am looking forward to every part of it. Try to get up to the red clay zone. You'll know it when you see it. It's a giant red clay ridgeline. Get up there and you'll see what this trail has to offer. It's also a very popular backpacking loop. Stop and take a look at the signage. We're on Tam McArthur Rim Trail. Over there, that's a horse trail. A lot of horses come up this trail. And we reach the Overlook zone. Let's walk over and take a look. Ooh. It's Washington straight ahead. You can tell by the little knob, the little one is, the center. And there's Sisters. There's Jefferson. Now straight ahead. Now go this way to get a good angle to come back this way. Look at that. That is the mighty Three Creek Lake. Parked on the right back of it. I've already ascended all the way up to here. Very cool log right over there that I love. Look at the incredible beauty of Three Creek Lake. I am in a lookout zone overlooking this magical Deschutes National Forest, Three Sisters Wilderness. I'll stop and get a little closer to the end so I can give you a mountain panorama. So straight ahead, that is Hood, Jefferson, Washington, Three Finger Jack, our trusty friend Sisters, and the beautiful Three Creek Lake. As we enjoy beautiful views of this Overlook area, let us continue to hike, my friends. So I'm doing Tam McArthur Rim today. Is a permit hike, definitely a world-class legendary hike. And I'm getting back on the main trail now. Started about 6,500 feet, parking at Little Three Creek Lake Trailhead, like right next to Three Creek Lake Driftwood Campground. And you start with ascending. So I get back on the trail. Got up at a little after 4. Got here about 6, right around sunrise. Did that as a temperature management strategy. Because it gets hot here in Central Oregon, high desert. Could get in the 80s, 90s today. So up here in the mountains, it could be 70s, 80s. So I'd rather be hiking in the 40s, 50s, and 60s than the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Call me old-fashioned. But so I was the second car in the parking lot, but there's a lot of other places to park. They said I think all of the permits are taken for today. So funny thing is the vast majority of those people, from my experience, will be coming leisurely later in the day. And of course, to each his own is prerogative, but that will be a much hotter, sweatier experience for them. I like to avoid the heat. I like to get the beauty of the trail without the negative part of all that heat. My gosh, this is beautiful. I gotta say, this is world class as far as how well groomed it is. The manicuring of the trail, lightly sanded. The eye candy along the way, just have little parts of interest. This would be what I would call Disneyland grade hiking. As far as just like, it's got that I'm in another perfectly manicured other world feel. We are hiking through my favorite wilderness area in all of Oregon, Three Sisters Wilderness. This is one of my 7 favorite trails of Three Sisters Wilderness. I call them the 7 wonders of Three Sisters because I am a dork. So this is Tam McArthur Rim Trail. It is a permit trail. I was able to last minute Larry this. Got pretty lucky. Normally, they release some about a week before the day in question, and then the rest 2 days before. Monday being today, August 15th, is the least popular day. Last night, on Sunday, I was able to snag one of the last 4 permits for this trail, so that's a very unlucky alignment. I can tell you every other day the next 2 weeks, or next week I should say, taken. So this is a high volume, high traffic, world-class trail. So got pretty lucky to be able to do it last minute, but generally you got to plan ahead. Now here's the thing I find of note. If you look at all trails, it only says this is 5.3 miles because it just takes you to like the first main lookout. I would go way past that. If that's all you got in the tank, 5.3, that's great. You get to 1,400 foot and you do get a good viewpoint. I think the best parts of this hike are past that. So I would keep past the 5.3, keep going along the trail. At that point, there's an ominous sign that says the rest of the area is unmaintained trail. That just means they don't want the liability, but it's pretty much the same as this. So don't let that spook you. I would recommend trying to make it to Broken Hand or as close to it as you can. You gain another 400 or so feet elevation, but you are in a pristine alpine zone. My favorite part of this whole hike is actually that upper section. Once you get over 8,000 feet, you're in this red clay ridge where you get epic shots of the sisters and Broken Top. To me, that's the best part of this entire trail. It's not the lookout that most people go to, pretty as that may be. It's red clay zone. I don't ever hear anybody call it the red clay zone. That's my own name for it, but you'll know when you see it. It's like a mile of red clay hiking where you feel like you're on top of the world, hiking on a ridge with views in both directions on both sides of you with epic mountain views. And it's in the 8,000 foot range. Still feeling comfortable temperature wise. Let me talk about that a little bit. First I'll say shoe wise, I think you're fine with low hiking shoes. That's what I'm wearing. I like Lova. I do not think boots are necessary for this trip. Some trips are very rocky. You need boots for stability, but they're heavier, so they increase ankle fatigue. I personally very comfortable in my low hiking shoes. I like Lovas, as I said. So boots not necessary. I would say as far as temperature management, that's your main thing to worry about. Hydration, energy, and temperature management. All three go hand in hand. Because this is an entirely exposed area. So I would recommend you come early. Almost nobody does. Because people like the convenience of rolling out of bed leisurely and then a long drive, and before they know it, they roll in at 11 or 12 or 1. Teach his own, but I would not recommend doing that because it's Central Oregon. It's the high desert. It's middle of summer, August 15th, and as we get some mountain views. So if you come here, 11, 12, 1 in the afternoon, you're going to be hiking in 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, fully exposed at elevation, 8,000 feet, direct sun hitting you the whole time, bearing down on you. I could do that, but I choose not to. So I bite the bullet and woke up a little after 4, drove the hour 20 from my house in Madras, Got here right around sunrise, about 6. And that gets you two things. One, it's a much better temperature profile. I got here in the 40s. So I'll be hiking in the 40s, 50s, 60s. I should be off the mountain in the 60s. So I'll be off the mountain when a lot of people are arriving. So I will have conquered this whole thing, bagged this bad boy in the 40s, 50s, 60s. To me, that's a much more attractive proposition. You are fully exposed in this hike, so do factor that into your temperature management. I had a big protein breakfast and drank fluid before I left my house. Drink fluid on the way here. I drink a lot of fluid on the way here, actually. Almost gorged myself in fluid. And then that way I like to start a exposed hike fully hydrated. And that way, it's not a steadfast rule, but generally speaking, on the way up, on the way out, try not to do any fluid because my body's living off the satiated fluid of my drive in. And then somewhere around the turnaround point, with the Fahrenheit ticking up and my exertion, I do start getting thirsty. I bring 2 sugar-free Powerades in both of my pockets, about 56 ounces of beverage total. Then I drink them both on the way back. Today I did bring a snack I tend to eat. Got some pepperoni sticks, a couple Bavarian meats,